If a little green is good, more is even better. Now, back to Green is Good with John Shigarian and Mike Brady.
Welcome back to Green is Good, and we're so honored to have Annette Hunter on with us today. Annette is what we call a green entrepreneur, which makes her a green eco-preneur. Annette, welcome to Green is Good.
Oh, thank you guys for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, we're so honored to have you because you are truly the reason why Mike and I started this show, because we are so lucky to have these wonderful, great brands on with us all the time, these iconic brands, but we truly love when we have eco and entrepreneurs like you who are out there sourcing these new items that can totally change the world. We want you to talk about your new light bulb, the Ionic light bulb, today.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, the neat thing about I have the Ionic Bulb. That's the name of the product.
Ionic Bulb, sorry.
Yes. And, well, let me ask you guys a question. So what if somebody told you that cleaning the air in your home was as simple as changing a light bulb?
I'd be there in a New York minute.
Well, let me tell you, with the new Ionic Bulb, it really is that simple.
Well,
the Ionic Bulb combines two high-tech solutions into one. First, it's a powerful air purifier that cleans the air in your home or office completely. And second, it's an energy-saving CFL light bulb.
So wait a second. You're taking two environmental issues and solving it with one solution?
Exactly, right in a light bulb. It's actually that simple.
Now, has this kind of product ever been? So when Mike sent me this, when he got the email about what you were up to, and he sent it to me and said, hey, let's talk about this one. This sounds amazing. We both were like, our jaws open. We had never heard of anything like this before. Had anything like this ever been out in the marketplace before?
No. You know, what you really have is you have those huge, bulky air purifiers that cost, I don't know, like $200, $300, $400, sometimes even more than that.
Sure.
And those air purifiers, they make a lot of noise, and they don't really work that well. I mean, you have to clean out the filter, and sometimes you have to buy a brand new filter as well. But what we were able to do is, since microchip technology has grown exponentially, microchips now are able to filter the air. And we were able to put that microchip right on a light bulb. So the moment that you put your light switch on and your light bulb turns on, the microchip works immediately.
Huh.
And what that microchip does, it emits negative ions into the air that attach themselves to pollutants. And then it eliminates them entirely. So it leaves the air in your home or office crisp, clean, and completely fresh.
Okay, but what should we be worried about as a homeowner, as all of us are living in some form of dwelling, all of our listeners? So what should they be concerned about for that is in the air in their home that this bulb would help remove from the air?
Well, first off, I mean, just regular dust. This will eliminate the dust. It eliminates air pollen.
Okay.
If you have pets, pet dander.
Ooh.
It gets rid of the odors of your pets as well as, regular odors that we exude. It gets rid of allergens. It also gets rid of smoke. I don't know if you guys are cigar smokers, but
Nope.
Being green, I'm sure you're incredibly healthy and you would never do something like that.
You're absolutely right.
So wait a second. So all these things. So
Yes.
how did this is we love having people like you and Ed on because we're fascinated by both two things, your product and your entrepreneurial vision here. How did you stumble across or find this light bulb, and how do you know for sure it works, and how much area does one light bulb cover, and how many do we need for our home or condo or our apartment?
Oh, my goodness.
A lot of
let me
questions.
get the last two first.
Okay.
It can do a whole 100-foot radius.
Okay.
One bulb itself.
Okay.
And it's scientifically proven. We have all the certificates for that.
Gotcha.
So it's absolutely guaranteed to work.
Okay.
And why don't I do a little bit of the science with that, and why I can explain to you why something like this would work.
We want to hear the science, but first of all, Where did you get this vision or epiphany to find this bulb?
Well, I'm actually an investor, and I look around for interesting products, and I saw that this product was. I saw this actually on the internet, and I saw that they weren't doing a good job of selling it. And then I talked to the gentleman that had the bulb. We got in a conversation, and I said, you know what? Why don't I take a jab at this? And then they were able to introduce me to the scientists, and I was able to combine it in a certain way that worked better, and also I was hoping to just give it a voice. It didn't have a voice before, and that's what we're trying to do here.
So revolutionary products that exist in a void are never going to see the marketplace, and they can never go and help change the world. So you saw the opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
It's like I don't know, an artist that has no audience. So we're trying to bring it to the audience.
Okay, we love it. So now tell us about the science.
Well, so when you turn the light bulb on,
yes,
and the microchip starts working,
yeah,
it releases negative ions into the air that attach themselves to the pollutants. Now, this kind of nature has done this since the beginning of time. It works when if you're next to a waterfall, a large waterfall, or the air after a big rainstorm. It's incredibly clean and crisp, and it smells lovely.
Yep.
Now, a lot of people assume that it's the water effect of washing away the dirt or airborne particles, that it's just the water washing everything away.
Right.
But actually what happens is that it's the negative ions that are released from the lack of stabilization in the air. So when the ions are released into the air and they attach themselves to the pollutants, that actually is what's happening, that cleans the air all over the world. And we're able to do that in your own home with this bulb, with this microchip.
So your Ionic bulb has the same effect as like a wonderful rain shower in our home or something.
Exactly.
Wow. So, and for our listeners who want to go right on now while Annette's talking about her great bulb, you could go on to newionic.bulb.com and you could order the bulbs right now as you're listening, or you could at least go and see what's going on. So keep going with the science, Annette.
And another effect, we're not selling it as this, but the neat thing about this, when after you have a huge rainstorm and the air is beautiful right afterwards, it's been scientifically proven that humans, animal life, and also plant life get a calming, soothing feeling and effect after such an event. And they've scientifically proven that really, really does happen. So not only does it clean your air, it actually the negative ions do some music within your body that cleans, or I'm not exactly sure, but it resonates within the body itself and calms you as well. So it has many, many different layers to what this does. It's, again, capturing nature and putting it within this one product.
It's really cool in that I love dichotomy, and in this case, negative really becomes a positive, because
exactly.
I'm thinking exactly. I knew a friend about 10 or 15 years ago that did a lot of travel, and he was on the road. He was an entrepreneur, as a matter of fact, but he had this little device in his cigarette lighter plug-in in his car, and we went to lunch one day, and I was looking around, I said, "Hey, dude, did somebody rip off the cord to your phone charger?" And he said, "What are you talking about?" And he said, I pointed, and I said, "Well, isn't that a phone charger?" And he says, "Oh, no. Don't you notice how when you sit in this car, you just feel really good?" And I said, "Well, actually, yeah, why does it smell so good in here?" He said, "It's a negative ionizer." And he had one that he kept in his car, and he had one that also plugged into his hotel room. So this guy was the most positive, negative guy I ever knew.
It's the yin-yang.
There you go.
That is so funny. So, okay, so the science really works, and the bulb is really what you say it is.
Yes.
The website's a great, great website. Now, what we talk about a lot of times, Annette, with entrepreneurs and people that have great new emerging brands is, as the green revolution evolves here, people want to know, A, how much it costs, and how soon is my return on the investment. Let's first talk about A, and then we'll come back a little bit and talk about the second half of your great bulb. Not only does it clean the air, but then we'll talk about the energy savings. So talk about the cost. How expensive is it? And for this new amazing revolutionary technology, is it very expensive compared to the other bulbs out there?
No. We have an incredible offer. The reason why we're doing this is because we do want people to go out and buy it. And it's a crazy price. We are offering 4 Ionic bulbs for $20.
Wow.
Actually, it's $19.99.
Wow.
So that's one bulb is less than $5. And if you go to the market right now, one CFL bulb, the average price is about $9, $9.99. So
wow.
We're almost half of that, and it's got the air purifier as well.
So, and all of our listeners can find this on your great website, newionic.bulb.com.
Yes, newionic.bulb.com. So you get 4 new Ionic bulbs for $19.99, and that is less than regular CFL light bulbs. And it's about the same price as these old light bulbs that no one wants to use anymore anyway.
So you're saying that each bulb can cover about 100 square feet in a house or an apartment or a condo? So a household would be using, what's the average household? How many bulbs are in an average household? I don't know that number. Do you know that number?
Well, yeah, the average household actually is about 15 to 20 bulbs.
Wow, okay.
15 to 20 bulbs.
So this can make a huge difference. If people buy your bulbs, it can make a huge difference in the air quality that they breathe. Number one.
Number one, absolutely.
Now let's talk about the other issue, the energy issue. And Mike and I have had all these great energy companies, solar companies, and all these fascinating guests. So energy is a very complex issue, but how we approach it, Annette, here is that we all can take simple steps that can lead to a big difference. So here, your bulb is one of those classic and new simple steps that our listeners can take to help make a difference with regards to the energy problems that we have right now.
Oh, it's incredible.
So talk about that.
If you do one Ionic bulb, this one Ionic bulb eliminates the equivalent to the emissions created by 1 million cars. That's one bulb.
I'm just sitting here trying to wrap my head around that. A million cars.
Yes.
Holy smoke.
One bulb is the equivalent to eliminating 1 million cars, the emissions created by 1 million cars.
Well, Annette, not only from an emissions saving standpoint, but from an energy saving standpoint. Now, I know my wife and I just bought a home last fall. We had been renting before, but in the time that we were renting, I really got the CFL bug in a big way. And I got tired of replacing bulbs. Well, we moved all the CFLs with us into our new home, and I probably won't be replacing those for some time. But when I do, I want to do the Ionic bulb. I just think about the energy savings with an Ionic bulb right now. Using CFL, that is clearly the way to go right now. But also being able to clean the air in the home and not have to be tied down to one of those air purifiers. And I mean,
they're the bulky
tried
air purifiers, and they're so incredibly noisy. They have this constant hum. The Ionic bulb works silently. You will have no idea that it's working, except that the air in your home will smell good. And it doesn't have any of those air fresheners, those awful smells. I mean, if you have flowers in your house, you smell the flowers, but you're not going to have an allergic reaction to them.
Wow.
And you don't have to have potpourri or anything like that, because it cleans the air naturally as well as saving energy. So, one of these bulbs lasts as long as 10 ordinary bulbs. So that's why I completely understand you taking one of your CFL light bulbs and bringing them with you. And that lasts as long as 7 years. So one of these bulbs lasts 7 years.
It really is amazing.
Yes.
That is amazing. So, besides your great website, where else where soon to be can our listeners, Annette, buy this amazing light bulb?
Well, okay, so we do have the website, newionic.bulb.com,
Right.
and I have a toll-free number, and I can give that to you now or later.
Yeah, of course. No,
but,
give it to us now. Go on.
We have a toll-free number. It's 1-800-220-2652. That's 1-800-220-2652.
Great.
And that's also newionic.bulb.com.
Right.
But late August, early September, we will be on the shelves of CVS and Walmart, and we have a lot of other stores that we're in talks with that are definitely starting up.
That is incredible. So now, put your eco-preneur's hat back on for our listeners' sake, because there's lots of budding eco-preneurs that listen to this show across the country and the world, actually, on the Apple iTunes network, besides the United States. How do you now, one great young lady with a light bulb in hand, go convince the people down in Bentonville, Arkansas, or at CVS to carry this on their shelves? How do you do that?
It's really quite simple. First, it's cost effective.
Okay.
Fair
enough.
It's so much cheaper to buy one of these bulbs than it is to buy any other light bulb.
Okay.
And no matter where you are, you do want clean air. And people, let's say, I don't know, we're in West Virginia, and you're living in coal mining town. The dust, it's so difficult. There's so many people have so many allergies there.
You're right.
And respiratory problems. Something like this will actually clean the air in their home or office. They can go to, a respite. Their home can be a respite, a haven, a clean haven.
That's really important because, Mike and I, we tape the show and we broadcast it from Fresno, California, which just the last 5 years or so, Mike, right, has one of the worst air qualities in all the United States.
Yeah,
yes.
Unfortunately, Annette, the recent reports have come out again, and we got a failing grade when it came to air quality. It's really not good. But I'm thinking of something else, too. As you mentioned, and you gave a real visual about the dust and the allergens. I'm thinking from a purely a housekeeping standpoint, this would make dusting a lot easier as well, right? You wouldn't have to dust your furniture nearly as frequently?
No, you wouldn't, because it's the moment this light is on, it's eliminating the dust particles.
That's amazing.
And then in the spring, it depends on where you live, but if you're living in the Northeast where I live right now, or you get a lot of pollen, and this will eliminate it from your home as well.
Got it. So it saves energy and cleans up the air in the environment. So come September and this fall, our listeners can not only buy it on your great website, they can go to CVS or at Walmart and buy your light bulbs there.
Yeah, and I'm quite confident that it'll be in many more stores.
And is there an industrial version of your light bulb? Will you eventually also not only create home versions, but will there also be office versions for offices?
Yes, absolutely. We're capable of making any sort of bulb.
And speak about making. Are these products made in the United States, or are they made somewhere else? How does your production
These bulbs are
go?
made in China.
In China, okay.
Yes, and they're shipped over here.
With your specific technology, patented technology, and things of that
Patented
such.
technology and the Energy Star quality.
And
so it's the quality is the best you can get.
And was the inventor from this country or from a different country?
South Korea.
South Korea.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a huge intellectual, scientific class that is dominating South Korea right now. They're trying to. Oh, well, they're not trying to.
Yeah,
They are.
They are.
Science is really what they're teaching greatly in the colleges and high schools there.
Well, Annette, I didn't share this with you earlier, but I've been to Korea numerous times, maybe a dozen times in the last year. And one of my investors is the...
So you didn't go to jail, did you?
No, I didn't. No. Oh, my gosh, she found out, Mike.
Jig's up
No,
now.
he's here. He's okay.
Jig's up. He's on the radio with me. Go get him. No, but what you're saying is absolutely true. So, it's fascinating that South Korea, small little country, 50 million people, they are, just think about the brands they've created, the LG brand, the Samsung brand, the Hyundai brand. Those brands are some of the most dominated international brands in the world right now.
Yeah, and their prices are pretty decent, but I have to tell you, the quality is pretty much the best there is as well.
Right. That's right. So you actually got it from a South Korean inventor, and
Yes.
then you that now have become the spokesperson, the eco-preneur visionary, and the marketing person behind bringing this to market here in the United States and beyond.
Yes.
That is so fascinating. That's so encouraging for all of our listeners who want to reinvent themselves and leave the job they're in right now, or go become a green entrepreneur out of college and things like that. That is so amazing. So talk about some of the challenges. When did you actually discover this light bulb? And take us from when you discovered it and met the entrepreneur and today. We have about 3 or 4 minutes left. Why don't you share a little bit of that journey with our listeners, because people always like to hear the journey.
Well, I would say that I was introduced to this light bulb about 2 years ago. But I thought that they were doing a good job. And sometimes there is a language barrier, too, that makes it a little difficult. I mean, when you're dealing with scientists, they have a certain type of understanding of the world that makes it a little difficult for them to go out to the public and really, verbalize what their great discovery is. So it was a little bit difficult for them to get an audience, like I said earlier. But so about a year ago, I would say about now, May last year, I said, oh, gosh, maybe I can help you. Let me help. And he said, yes, please help me. And so since then, I was able to really just find out how to market it, how to brand it, how to get it to the public, and to talk to you guys.
Annette, we're down to the last minute or so. Do you have some final thoughts or pearls of wisdom for our listeners out there?
Oh, my goodness. You know what? The world is getting incredibly small, and we have to take care of this world. We absolutely have to take care of it, and we have the opportunity to do that through technology and through wisdom and through knowledge. We can do this, and it's as simple as changing a light bulb.
Well, there you go. And, Annette, after you get into CVS and Walmart, Mike and I are going to have you back to talk about how the journey's going and how the scaling of your great company's going. For all listeners who want to buy Annette's amazing Ionic Bulb, go to newionic.bulb.com or call 1-800-220-2652. Annette Hunter, you are truly living proof that green is good.